peu bizarre. Pourquoi c'est pas sous-titré? Vous m'avez dit qu'il y avait des sous-titres, les gars. Hein. Jérémy Donaldson est le présentateur du JT le plus apprécié du pays et auquel les gens font le plus confiance. Pour l'instant. Jour 1. Les élections. Ok. Bah oui, mais merde. Il m'a mis clavier anglais. Il m'a mis clavier anglais. Pardon. On y retourne.
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience.
Okay.
You want to keep the viewers going up and not down.
Okay.
Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home.
Okay.
It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you
Il va avoir un
control.
décalage.
Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left.
Ok, pour l'instant ça va.
Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain... Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right.
Des exercices avec four saucisses. Four saucisses. Ok. Venez à Dumbley et ma salade. Ok.
You should be getting a signal from the studio soon.
Faut que j'appuie sur un truc ou pas?
When you get the signal, select screen one with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Pas poupi. Ok.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys honest Andy's totally
Qu'est-ce que je dois
independent
faire?
and corners the flowered market. Top chat.
Ah, ça va être screen 2.
Sports fans
Ok.
everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be
C'est marrant comme
chatting with
concept.
movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party
Je suis trop,
have to say on their historic
Je
victory.
suis vraiment impliqué.
That's all
Button
coming
2
up on tonight.
in 3,
National Night
2,
News.
1. Lovely, mate.
Papin, papin.
Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
C'est une régie télé, mais j'ai jamais fait de régie télé. Je suis trop content.
votes. Switch to screen 1 now. Lovely, mate.
First, the votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing, or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition
Ça va comme ça?
all
Ouais.
conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
Ça fait beaucoup d'infos, mec.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try
Johnny
to confuse him with any
Four-Saucisses.
big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
I thought that was our little secret.
That's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb.
These aren't my
1.
cards. Please
Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking.
Ok.
2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long.
Okay.
10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't
passe plein
stay
de
on
trucs, hein.
reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Quiet in the studio.
Il se passe 1000 trucs à la seconde. Hein.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among
L'autre,
ours.
c'est pareil, je pourrais aller sur le
Right,
1
now
si je veux.
just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked with him on several movies, all
Ouais,
terribly
je
successful.
fais un peu un truc épileptique là.
What a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Get back to who's talking.
Ça va.
Exactly, are you on
Pardon,
fire?
pardon.
But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story.
Been on that show a bit long.
Fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really
Get on
am
the speaker,
not in it
mate.
for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my
N'oublie
mantelpiece.
pas le plan avec le 2. Ouais, c'est vrai que je l'utilise pas assez.
I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding.
Je sais pas si je suis un bon régisseur. Hein.
Giving. Suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
Donc pas plus de 10 secondes. Hein.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well.
Réal, pas régisseur. Oui, c'est vrai que je suis réal en fait. En soi.
Indeed, historic is the word.
Allez, j'ai eu la réaction.
Difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing.
Ok, il a
in
dit
the
shit, il a dit shit.
Which opens next week.
Right,
around
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'd just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
Allez.
Cool, looks like Blunderclash is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right.
Merde. Ça marche comment?
Now we're gonna squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Fuck. Putain de merde.
It'll do for now. Next we're gonna change the amplitude. Same as last time, little joystick or hold Alt or middle mouse, and this time push upwards. Upwards, mate, upwards.
Ah. Je vais me faire virer, putain.
You need to see this.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
Putain, je me fais virer sur le tuto.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
Stop it all.
Not bad, you'll get it with practice.
We have to ask ourselves.
Bon, je suis pas très bon à ça.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Putain, j'ai perdu énormément d'audience. Merde, quel con.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like
Je
this.
censuré. Ok.
2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the spacebar on your keyboard for as long as the swear word lasts.
Ok.
It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll
aussi, j'en ai
literally
un.
be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now.
Putain, j'ai
Mate, if you don't turn up the broadcast volume, you won't be able to time your bleeps.
Or you could take advantage of our famous
You're
noise.
set to start
There's a
censoring.
radio in the car
Like I
on
say,
Fridays,
it
we've
takes a
got
little
watch Channel
practice,
5.
but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember,
85 minutes from the
button
coast,
lights up,
and with more than
count
2 areas of
1,
outstanding natural
2,
interest.
and hold it
Time
down.
your family went
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the
Ok, ok, mec, ça fait beaucoup d'infos.
for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to advance headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleed.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What?
Il est bourré, putain.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shit.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory
Putain, il est bourré, bordel.
Coarser than a grain is funny. Coarser than a grain
Memorably
is...
put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when
Ok,
things
ok,
are
je
going
reprends du verre.
well.
Je reprends du verre.
When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future.
Elle va pas jurer, c'est lui qui jure tout le temps.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of... Probably you rather you don't.
Ok, je regagne de l'audience, et ça c'est cool.
Not welcome in their gated community.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country.
Ah, l'écran, je l'avais pas vu. L'écran, il est incroyable.
Trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay us. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children
Imagine, tu joues à ce jeu et tu dois en plus animer un stream et lire un chat. C'est incroyable. Oui, oui, ça va. Arrêtez de...
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government,
Je vais enlever l'écho. Comme ça, on entendra peut-être mieux, non?
We'll be back tomorrow with full
Bon, après les pros, ils laissent le truc de l'écho, mais là, je vais l'enlever.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Same old boring politics then.
This is some weird fever dream. Am I dying now?
Up now, and every week we'll send you an authentic, ethically sourced ingredient to add to your salad.
Ah, d'accord.
Build your collection week by week, and very soon you'll have a salad that really gets the lunch.
When the program's finished, you'll get a broadcast report.
Ah, la séquence là.
Pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast
Ah, la
went.
deuxième séquence, ça a été catastrophique.
Overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page.
Ok, let's go.
Right, this is the important page. It tells you how
Fortune actuelle, pauvre et fauché. Merde. Ok, il est pas très lisible votre écran, les gars. Je peux les revoir.
In a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly
on peut voir mon fail.
But before award-winning documentary series, The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance.
Okay.
Controversy as global mega corporations.
Conseil de Vigo, bind les touches, comme ça t'arranges, ça va être l'enfer plus tard. Ok. Merde. Je le ferai après. Ah, la musique elle est forte. Ok, ça c'est pour les gens qui veulent regarder vraiment toutes les vidéos quoi. C'est sûrement aussi le temps de comprendre le lore parce que sinon tu suis rien, c'est vrai.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving.
45 heures de vidéo, il paraît. Ouais, c'est ce que j'ai vu aussi. 45 heures de vidéo.
Yeah, Megan's pretty pissed off too.
I'm not surprised. The bloke with no democracy, he's shutting his cornflakes.
Yeah, but he's hot though.
I suppose so, into oxygen thieves.
10 seconds, everybody.
C'est marrant. Alors on va pas tous les regarder, hein, mais c'est vraiment marrant. Et pour les pubs, exercice avec four saucisse.
Hi, I'm world-class sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves, and I'm not fat, but you are. Don't worry, ladies. Now you can have me, Johnny Hamsleeve, right there in your lounge.
Johnny!
Match day, happy day. Me and the lads are playing away.
I'll take you through a proper match day workout with my two cracking assistants. Who knows, within a few weeks, you could be as fit as them.
Ah c'est cursed. Ah c'est cursed de ouf.
Did you know that fat people are less likely to laugh, marry, or live past the age of 26? These potentially true statistics are all terrifying reasons why you need to pop a bit of Johnny in your VHS slot. Recommended by sports professionals and is 72% likely to get fit with Johnny Hamsleeves.
C'est incroyable. Ils se sont mis trop bien quoi.
Get warm, sandy beaches, clear waters, and fine dining. Well, we're not sure, but here in St Bumley on the Taint, we've got a big hill and the bus comes twice daily. Visit picturesque St Bumley
Et bonne
this
soirée,
summer
avocat dodo.
and
À la prochaine.
experience a holiday that's simply unlike any other.
Une fabrique à pelle.
Come and visit the abandoned spade factory. Your kids
Bon, les
will love
sous-titres, ils sont
exploring the
en
old
PLS.
production line in relative safety. Grab your tetanus shots and come down today. There's no
Une fabrique de pelle. Je signe, je signe. Du coup, on va essayer de changer un petit peu les contrôles, histoire d'être plus rapide. Parce que sinon, je vais me faire avoir, je pense. Parce que ça, c'était juste le didacticiel. Et j'ai l'impression que j'ai vraiment galéré. Bon, tu arrives à la maison et tu trouves du courrier sur le pas de la porte. Comme d'habitude, rien d'intéressant à l'exception d'une lettre qui attire ton attention. L'équipe souhaite mieux vous connaître. La curiosité l'emporte et tu l'ouvres. Il s'agit d'un formulaire provenant du nouveau gouvernement Advance et visant à collecter les informations sur les citoyens. La première page est pré-remplie. Nom, Alex Winston. Conjoint, Sam Winston. Enfant, Charles, 14 ans. Suzy Winston, 19 ans. Tu te dis qu'au moins, ils ne se sont pas trompés. C'est manifestement à toi de remplir le reste. Et apparemment, ce n'est pas facultatif. Question 1. Si vous aviez un nouvel emploi, quelle serait votre attitude? Alors, qui je suis, moi? Est-ce que je travaille pour le gouvernement et donc du coup je suis zélé? La productivité avant tout. Je me mets immédiatement au travail pour le gouvernement Advance. Question 2. Un collègue ou une collègue d'un autre service vous confie avoir rapporté à la maison des informations confidentielles. Maintenant qu'un dossier, certes, peu important a disparu, vous en informez votre responsable sur le champ. Question 3. Tous les salariés d'un service ont été renvoyés aujourd'hui après n'avoir jamais réussi à atteindre leur objectif. Votre chef a fixé de nouveaux objectifs nettement supérieurs aux précédents. Vous restez au travail pour respecter les délais fixés. Question 4, c'est le barbecue annuel de l'entreprise auquel votre famille et vous avez été invités. Vous avez... Alors, attendez. Le barbecue annuel, il faut que je fasse du zèle. J'ai hâte de passer cette belle journée en compagnie de vos amis et de votre famille. Question 5. Au terme d'une longue carrière couronnée de succès, il est temps de partir à la retraite. Dans votre discours, vous... énumérez vos réussites et succès, ainsi que tous les bons souvenirs liés à l'entreprise. Évidemment. Question 6. Vous consacrez votre temps libre à... assister à des meetings politiques et défendre vos convictions. Question 7. Votre destination de vacances idéale. Corpo de ouf, hein. Est-ce qu'il y a un truc corpo là-dedans Est-ce qu'il y a un truc corpo? Ah, je vais dire la famille, tu vois. En mode tradi. Tradi. Le gouvernement doit avant tout garantir aux citoyens la sécurité, la liberté, le bonheur, l'égalité, la sécurité. Ah oui, on est sur un RP de quelqu'un. Merci pour votre coopération, Advance. C'est que votre temps est précieux. Et vous est reconnaissant de contribuer à mener la nation vers un avenir des plus radieux. Voilà, je signe. J'ai les dents longues, je veux réussir dans cette entreprise, dans cette télévision d'État. Jour 6, une affaire de famille. Il est tard, Sam et les enfants sont déjà au lit. Tu essuies une tasse à laquelle tu tiens un vieux souvenir rapporté de votre premier voyage ensemble. Le dessin s'est estompé, mais ce visage rigolo te donne toujours le sourire. Soudain, quelqu'un frappe à la fenêtre, te ramenant ainsi à la réalité. Dans le jardin, tu vois Chris, l'adelphe de Sam, avec sa tapageuse valise vert fluo. Une fois à l'intérieur, Chris s'assoit sur la table de la cuisine. Visiblement, quelque chose ne va pas. Chris s'inspire profondément. Et merci, Champi. Merci beaucoup pour le resub. Et 9 mois, merci à toi. Pardon de débarquer à cette heure, Alex, bégaya Chris. Mais j'ai besoin d'un service, et il n'y a qu'à toi que je puisse demander ça. Pas de problème, que se passe-t-il? Tu as certainement vu toute cette folie autour d'Advance, la loi sur les actifs et les richesses qu'ils appellent ça. Ils prennent aux gens l'argent qu'ils ont durement gagné pour en faire profiter les fainéants. C'est du grand n'importe quoi. Tu n'as jamais vu Chris dans un tel état. Je ne dis pas que les 1% les plus riches n'ont pas ce fichu argent, ajoute hâtivement Chris. Ils peuvent peut-être se le permettre, mais les gens comme moi vont tout perdre. On a dit on fait un game... On n'est pas du tout de droite, nous, de gauche. Hein. C'est horrible, mais je vois pas trop ce que tu peux faire. Dans la famille, c'est toujours toi qui as eu le plus d'argent. Alex, ils vont tout me prendre. Tout ce que j'ai passé ma vie à bâtir, je ne peux l'accepter. J'ai besoin que tu me rendes un service. Chris baisse les yeux. Je dois emprunter ton passeport. J'ai le sentiment que la suite ne va pas me plaire. Ils ont pris le mien et celui de la moitié des habitants de ce fichu pays. Mais il paraît qu'on se ressemble, alors Chris fait les 100 pas. Je dois partir avant qu'il ne soit trop tard. Ensuite, mon argent et moi serons à l'abri. Mais je dois m'enfuir avant qu'il ne bloque mes comptes. Je t'en supplie. Si je te demande, c'est que je n'ai pas de choix. Mais c'est qui a pris le contrôle? C'est des cocos? C'est des turbo-cocos? Ça peut pas être aussi grave. Il y a forcément un autre moyen. Chris en reste bouche bée. Tu plaisantes, n'est-ce pas? J'ai toujours bien agi envers Sam et toi. J'ai traité vos enfants comme si c'était les miens. Nous sommes une famille. Cela ne signifie rien pour toi? Mais c'est illégal. Je ne peux rien faire pour toi. C'est bon, je me débrouillais sans toi. Elle est belle, la famille, tiens. Chris fait mine de cracher, agrippe sa valise presque fluo et disparaît dans la nuit. Tu retournes à ta vaisselle. En reprenant la tasse de Sam, il te semble que le visage écaillé plonge son regard dans tes yeux. Tu as l'estomac de plus en plus noué. J'ai trahi ma famille, c'est du génie. Et bonsoir petite licorne, bienvenue à toi. Jour 8, les répercussions. On va faire les commandes. Mélangeur, ça ok. Mixage sonore gauche, mixage sonore haut, mixage sonore... Ouais, ok. Censure, c'est espace, je pourrais faire espace. Pub A, WXC, ok, j'ai... Oh, mais en vrai, ça va le faire. Hein. Il y a un collier câlin. Bouton câlin. En vrai, ça va le faire. Il fait la teuf. Mais mec.
First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it.
Jus de cochon.
Have consequences, don't they?
On les sait, c'est certain que ce jouet ne représente aucun danger. Allez, je vais prendre Monsieur Kalinou, je m'en fous. Et fonceur d'advance, parce que je fais de la propagande.
You can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break.
J'ai rien compris à son truc de A et B là.
My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening.
Un peu tôt.
I'm Jeremy Dalton. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker.
Voilà, je leur mets une belle gueule. Je les mets pas vénères.
Living standards for the vast majority of the country. I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated.
Mais tu peux jouer full troll du coup.
Immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favorably to Sophia's appointment.
Tu peux vraiment jouer full troll et tu te fais virer.
In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborgen-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here.
C'est le premier jour, on va être coolos, après on va full troll, tu vois.
Whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And Griever's bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more people saying they're scared to walk the streets alone at night,
on va leur faire peur un petit peu.
Right time for Advance's new approach. All that and mega more for the group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Merde! Mais quelle télé de merde là aussi! Ok, parfait.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there.
Merde!
Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I
Pardon,
don't.
pardon!
No. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is Right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Franken-science and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them, then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for
actively
you.
removes harsh chemicals from your skin. The high salt content actually pulls the dihydrogen monoxide right
Mais lui, il fait la pure taf.
surveys said they loved their visible plates, and 7 out of 10 dentists would recommend it.
Jus de cochon.
Jus de cochon, because we said so.
Jus de cochon.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desk.
C'est intense, hein.
The quality of support you can offer.
Et encore, c'est que le début, je pense.
Barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving.
Elle se bat! Elle se bat!
Darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide.
Elle le quitte!
In 5 minutes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servant.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I am sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
A simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia?
Fuck, j'ai oublié les insultes.
Could you give me a little
Mais
help,
oh putain, il y a un type tout nu.
As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Back you go. Back in your gimp space.
And
Off you go.
whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said get back in your gimp space. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us.
Oh,
And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swan. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Well, prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony.
T'arrêtes pas de
Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Way! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Ah, ils vont encore avoir une dinguerie.
Oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. There's Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep. Oh.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news.
Oh.
Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Open!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this guy?
Open!
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
For the little boy.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
No fucking way. Let's believe that.
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody. That went well.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Pourquoi il...
That's right, little one. You don't want to be left out.
Oh.
Mr. Snugglehugs, you're so silly. Mr. Snugglehugs in stores now with selling
3. Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe.
Merde!
And on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle believed
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
Yeah. That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way.
Fuck. Fuck!
So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I...
Merde, tu fais de la merde.
We're not
tu lis le chat si je fais de la merde.
I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly, but we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally-well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Non, putain, ça va être horrible.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears.
Oh
But
putain.
still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Et comment tu veux que je fasse de la bonne télé avec ces plans de merde?
Oh heavens, no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Ça, c'est de la good TV, tu vois.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers.
Mais non, je t'ai eu.
Give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team.
Yeah.
And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Non, putain!
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Oh.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said
You rap.
middle-class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Get off.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner, he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate.
C'est incroyablement cool.
Life's pretty hard on a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate. It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes! Oh.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe
Qu'est-ce que c'est drôle comme concept.
that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, so I'm pleased.
Eh, on a
that
quasiment le
he's back out of
perfect,
my
hein.
studio.
On a vraiment quasiment le perfect. Quoi, j'ai eu D sur la séquence? J'ai une séquence, j'ai eu D? Vous avez reçu votre salaire, fortune actuelle, pauvre et fauché, comme d'hab. Je suis obligé de la jouer, hein.
Why bother strengthening your body when you can strengthen your face? We believe your skin deserves the best, so the new formula actively removes harsh chemicals from your skin. The high salt content actually pulls the dihydrogen monoxide right from your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin you've come to expect. New Jus de Cochon will revitalize the appearance of the strength of your face's skin. 41% of women we surveyed said they loved their visible flakes, and 7 out of 10 dentists would recommend it. Jus de Cochon, because we said so.
Jus de cochon. C'est incroyable, mais il y a tellement de trucs à checker en plus. Il y a tellement de fausses pubs et tout.
Our children are our future. Advance knows this, and we're here to help. The new Advance Go-Getters initiative will ensure that every young person enjoys the abundance of benefits that only a true community can provide, while keeping us informed of all the ups and downs to help make things even better. With a vast range of activities available, building the nation's future has never been so rewarding. With the Go-Getters, you can be sure that your children will be well equipped in the march towards progress. After all, there's nothing better than moving forwards.
Un peu de propagande, ça fait toujours du but.
Forwards together.
Ça fait toujours un peu de bien, un peu de propagande. Allez, nickel. C'était très drôle, hein. Ah la vache, si tous les épisodes ils sont aussi drôles que ça. Fin de soirée. Ok. Tu arrives à la maison après un long quart de plus au boulot et tu trouves un mot sur le plan de travail. Tu reconnais l'écriture aussi illisible que bâclée de Sam. Chris n'a pas payé le loyer et a perdu son logement. Tu sais ce que ça veut dire. Sam a dû aller récupérer les affaires de Chris dans la rue. Ne m'attends pas. C'est souligné 2 fois. C'est donc ta faute maintenant. En boudant, tu lances un film d'horreur que vous alliez regarder ensemble. Il te fichait vraiment la trouille quand tu étais plus jeune, mais maintenant, il vous fait bien rire à chaque visionnage. Sans Sam, ce n'est pas pareil, mais tu glousses tout de même par moments. Alors que tu arrives au meilleur passage, lorsque Candy décide de mener l'enquête en solo, ton fils de 14 ans débarque. Il veut aller chez un ami. Il te regarde comme seul un ado peut le faire, d'un air implorant et rebelle à la fois. Tu dis non à Charlie. On joue un connard, hein. Tu dis non à Charlie. Il sait bien qu'il n'a pas le droit de sortir quand il a école le lendemain. Plus Charlie comprend que tu ne comptes pas changer d'avis, et plus il hausse le temps. Tu prétends que c'est pour mon bien, mais en fait, tu veux juste avoir la paix. Bon sang, je te déteste. Il hésite. Il sait qu'il a dépassé les bornes, mais pris d'un accès de colère, il peut se résoudre à céder. Tu n'as pas le temps de répondre qu'il est déjà parti en trombe à l'étage et qu'il a claqué la porte de sa chambre. Tu le laisses seul. Vous avez tous les deux besoin de vous calmer. C'est le matin et tu toques à la porte de ton fils, pas de réponse. En entrant, tu te rends compte qu'il n'est pas là et que la fenêtre est grande ouverte. Le petit vaurien! Quand Charlie rentre enfin, tu lui annonces qu'il est privé de sortie jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Il doit comprendre que ses actes ont des conséquences. Oula, ça en est passé du temps. Je crois que ça va être l'épisode de la panique pour Mathieu, à moins que ce soit celui d'après. Ok. Marrant. On va voir, on va voir. Noël, un budget serré. Tu ne peux pas t'empêcher d'esquisser un sourire en regardant autour de la table. Dehors, la neige a recouvert l'herbe et les enfants ouvrent un crackers de Noël. Tandis que ta vieille mère lutte pour ne pas s'endormir, tu as toujours adoré la période de Noël. Désormais, c'est toi qui sièges en bout de table à la place de Pat. Il régnait une atmosphère tendue cet après-midi, c'était palpable. C'est la première fois que tu revoyais Chris depuis que tu as refusé de lui fournir ton passeport. Un sacré changement pour Sam. Tant ces deux-là étaient inséparables autrefois. Noël est généralement une période très agréable de l'année. Seul le bruit des couverts vient troubler le silence alors que Chris te fixe avec insistance. Tu portes un toast. Tu te mets debout et tu lèves ton verre. Joyeux Noël tout le monde! Quelle joie d'avoir la famille au grand complet! Tout le monde dit santé et trinque. Chris reste immobile. Ouais, enfin c'est pas grâce à toi. Sam soupire à nouveau. Allez Chris, c'est Noël. On pourrait peut-être passer à autre chose. Je ne m'adressais pas à toi. Chris se tient debout, visiblement ivre. Qu'est-ce que t'as dit? Reste Chris. Ça suffit tous les deux, insiste Sam. Pardon? C'était pas clair? Depuis l'autre bout de la table, Chris se précipite sur toi, renversant une maigre assiette de pommes de terre qui vient s'écraser au sol. Tu ne vois rien venir quand Chris t'assène un coup de poing dans la tempe. Ta mère hurle en voyant que tu saignes au niveau de l'œil. Tu te rues sur Chris avant que Sam ne hurle. Ça suffit! Tout le monde se fige. Putain de Noël, tu sais. Cela fait une éternité que tu n'avais pas entendu Sam élever la voix. Et apparemment, ça a eu de l'effet. Il y a désormais plus de bruit dans la pièce à l'exception des halètements et des geignements de ta pauvre mère. Sans dire un mot, Chris quitte la pièce d'un pas raide. Tes enfants ne peuvent pas se résoudre à te regarder alors que tu te rassois en bout de table. Foutu Noël. Tu lèves les yeux et tu vois Charlie donner un coup de coude à sa sœur. Et t'en es où avec tes vacances? Tu ne devais pas poser. Suzy lui coupe la parole. Ça n'a pas d'importance. C'est clair que personne ne se soucie de ce qu'on veut. Et dans un bruit d'assiette qui s'entrechoque, elle quitte la pièce, te laissant avec un fils silencieux et une mère traumatisée. Et le temps passe, et le temps passe. Tu feuillettes le courrier qui s'est empilé, chaque facture supplémentaire te mine davantage le moral. Soudain, une touche de bleu t'interpelle. Tu reconnais le logo canard d'Advent sur l'enveloppe que tu déchires aussitôt. Chère famille Winston, merci de nous avoir fait parvenir vos passeports. Nous en accusons bonne réception et confirmons votre inscription dans le cadre du nouveau plan de redistribution des actifs et des richesses. Avec un peu de chance, les disputes des dernières semaines avec Sam n'auront pas été vaines. À ce titre, nous avons le plaisir de vous adresser un chèque que nous vous prions de considérer comme un témoignage non seulement de notre gratitude, mais également de notre détermination à créer une société sans inégalité. Sans la douleur causée par cette coupure au doigt due à la précipitation, tu te croirais dans un rêve. Un chèque et d'un montant considérable qui plus est. Chris avait raison, Advance redistribue bel et bien les richesses. Nous continuerons de nous efforcer à faire progresser cette nation et à améliorer le quotidien de ses citoyens. Avançons ensemble, Julien Salisbury et Peter Clément. Voilà qui pourrait atténuer vos problèmes d'argent, quelle aubaine. Un long week-end. Pourquoi la fermeture de cette fichue valise fait toujours des siennes? C'est votre anniversaire de mariage. Chaque année, Sam et toi partez en week-end, généralement en camping, vu que vous n'êtes pas plein aux as. Tu attends ça depuis longtemps, enfin un peu de temps, rien que tous les deux. Pas d'enfants ni de travail, que des moments de calme, de paix et d'amour. La fermeture finit par se fermer et tu traînes la valise bien remplie jusqu'en bas. Sur la table de l'entrée, le témoin du répondeur clignote. Bonsoir Alex, c'est Monsieur Bossman. Je voulais te prévenir que tu allais devoir travailler ce week-end. Quel crève-cœur. De nouveaux éléments ont été révélés concernant les tensions grandissantes entre notre nation et d'autres puissances étrangères. Par conséquent, l'équipe de National 90 News va travailler jour et nuit pour avoir l'exclusivité. Il va sans dire que je compte sur ta présence demain matin à 8h pile. Passe une bonne soirée. Le choc fait place à la contrariété puis la colère. Que vas-tu dire à Sam ? Ton ou ta conjointe te rejoint en bas, visiblement dans un état de surexcitation. Tout en t'embrassant, Sam prend les clés de la voiture dans le vide-poche et commence à charger les sacs dans le coffre. Tu te confonds en excuses auprès de Sam, mais tu dois travailler. Mieux vaut éviter de contrarier Bossman. Tu soupires longuement. Tu vas y aller, n'est-ce pas? Entends-tu derrière toi avant de te retourner? Tu te contentes de hocher la tête? Évidemment que tu vas y aller. Ça serait trop de demander pour une fois de faire passer ta famille avant le travail? Je ne sais pas pourquoi je me donne autant de mal, Alex. Vraiment, te lance Sam avant de s'en aller. La porte d'entrée se balance légèrement en silence. Une autorisation parentale. Ton fils Charlie piaffe d'impatience tandis que tu lis. Tu te donnes à fond pour réussir, tu es membre actif de l'équipe, tu veux récolter les fruits du travail réalisé en coopération. Alors rejoins sans plus attendre les fonceurs d'Advance. Avançons ensemble. Il t'avait déjà parlé de cette maison des jeunes, mais n'est-ce pas exactement ce que tu avais imaginé? Mais ce n'est pas exactement ce que tu avais imaginé. Charlie reprend le prospectus et te tend un formulaire. Je pourrais y aller à pied directement après l'école et ta sœur et la sœur de Ben nous ramènera en voiture. Tu n'auras pas à lever le petit doigt. Évidemment que je signe pour qu'il rejoigne le parti. Je signe. Ton fils est aux anges, cela fait chaud au cœur de voir qu'il veut à ce point s'investir dans la communauté. C'est forcément une bonne chose. Un partenariat avantageux. Après une journée de travail qui n'en finissait pas, tu arrives à la maison et tu trouves à nouveau le courrier trié en plusieurs tas. Une récente habitude de Sam. Comme souvent, il n'y a rien de bien intéressant, hormis un courrier qui retient ton attention. Il y figure le logo de plus en plus familier d'Advance, ainsi que la mention « Urgent, réponse immédiate exigée » dans un rouge qui traduit parfaitement l'urgence de cette injonction. Il vaudrait mieux en finir avec ça une bonne fois pour toutes. Chère famille Winston, par le présent courrier, nous vous informons que le gouvernement d'Advance vient de faire un pas en avant dans sa lutte contre les inégalités, en nationalisant les plus grandes sociétés privées et en redistribuant leurs ressources aux citoyens de notre grande nation. Le programme d'obligation de partenariat nous permettra de nous assurer que le peuple ne doit plus spoiler les richesses qu'il produit. Tu ne te souviens pas avoir lu ça dans leur manifeste? Ah, ça commence. Chaque foyer deviendra partenaire d'une des 3 institutions soigneusement sélectionnées par Advance pour leur performance constante et leur sécurité financière. Veuillez noter que les retours sur investissement se basent sur l'opinion publique et ne peuvent pas, par conséquent, être garantis. Veuillez sélectionner une première société parmi les suivantes. Produits cosmétiques ou voyage? Produits cosmétiques. Il y a un côté dystopique dans les produits cosmétiques, tu vois. Merci d'avoir fait votre sélection. Veuillez renvoyer ce formulaire à l'aide de l'enveloppe fournie. Vous recevrez un rapport de vos partenaires dans 3 à 6 mois ouvrables. On dirait même que Advance ne peut pas vaincre ce fléau qu'est la paperasse administrative. La première, c'est pour jus de cochon. Effectivement, on est spécialisé jus de cochon. L'avenir de cette nation est dans le partenariat. Avançons ensemble. Quelle influence auras-tu juste sur les choses? On est sur un régime politique très bizarre. Un ado rebelle. Mais je peux jouer par contre? C'est marrant vos histoires, mais moi je veux jouer. Tu sors de ta voiture en silence alors que Sam claque la porte. Tu grimaces en espérant qu'elle ne décroche pas. Tu ne dis rien, ce n'est pas le moment. En t'approchant de l'accueil, tu te sens mal en point. L'agent de police te demande de patienter. Ah! Fallait qu'il y ait les flics, c'est sûr. Soudain, après ce qui t'a paru une éternité, une policière au regard bienveillant libère ta fille. C'est une gentille petite, mais si on la reprend à taguer, on ne pourra pas fermer les yeux. Tu hoches la tête et t'excuses du comportement de Suzy, tandis que Sam prend dans tes bras votre fille encore sur le choc. Alors que tu lui serres la main, la policière baisse d'un ton. Assurez-vous qu'elle ne s'approche pas de ce garçon et tout ira bien. Dans la voiture, tu tentes d'aborder le sujet, mais Suzy reste muette comme une carpe. Au bout d'un moment, tu arrêtes de lui poser des questions sur ce garçon et tu te concentres sur la route. Des heures plus tard, tu contemples le plafond en te faisant un sang d'encre. Seul le silence qui règne dans la chambre te permet de savoir que Sam ne dort pas non plus. Qui Suzy fréquente-t-elle? Et à quoi joue-t-elle? Ni toi ni Sam n'arrivaient à dormir de la nuit. En avant! L'ancien Premier ministre Jacob Hamilton a décidé d'organiser des élections alors que l'opposition réclamait sa démission compte tenu de son implication dans une affaire de mœurs. Jour 153. The Storm.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather looks nasty.
Centre de transition advance, il m'a dit. Hein. Il m'a dit dans le second bloc. Ah oui, mais j'ai pas mis le courant.
It probably is a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody.
Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip?
Attends, oh, j'ai pas eu le temps.
5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg-Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cavern's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
It might seem amusing to us, but clearly this formerly overprivileged section of our society is not adjusting well to the new future. It's often too easy to forget that not every citizen is thriving under advance.
Table for 2. Johnny Hamsleeves and Tiffany Lamour were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year. And this image is sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Johnny's secretive hospital visits have had the rumour mill churning. I think it's safe to say that they're not looking at his school report.
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
Described as a breakthrough far ahead of its time, the male contraceptive pill is heralding a sexual revolution. Its fans are celebrating the fact that men can finally take equal responsibility for contraception, but others have expressed concerns over its safety and side effects.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later,
and our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Fuck! Oh, le jingle, il est incroyable! Oh, le jingle, putain!
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
C'est la publicité. C'est la publicité qu'on a passée.
We're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. Wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
And you be careful now, it upsets him to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes, that'll be the fur. It's scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
Bloody cat had a death wish.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend. But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be, for just $89.99. And then it's a general error. 41.
And is that when he burst into flames?
Look, careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his
Je peux pas faire de
real
plan de couple,
action
là,
eyes is
en
now
soi.
permanently embedded in your cheek?
Ouais, je peux pas faire de plan de couple.
When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there.
Staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic.
Oh.
Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite enough of
Timmy?
you two coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions,
again?
and now look.
Putain, c'est horrible son partage.
You're 3 of his eyes.
Calm down, you're excited. Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Come on,
Mr. Tadlock.
Your poster, your favourite poster, Timmy, are you okay?
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation.
I'm bleeding, am I not?
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new advanced mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response in bringing in this set of stringent checks and new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching.
J'ai oublié le gros plan, ouais. J'ai oublié le gros plan.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
Oh!
Come on. I'm Tommy the Fingernail Harris, sporting legend. I've got it all. 4 world championships, 2 cars, a bidet, and an enlarged prostate.
Alex, Boozman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Boozman.
J'allais pas mettre d'organes génitaux, t'inquiète pas.
This can cause trouble starting to pee, and it can cause laundry-based trouble between you and your she-demon of an ex-wife. So what caused this big old prostate in your bum? Well, sorry, me and the doctors, we don't know. But I can tell you, as you get older, your body changes. And that's okay. If you're worried about your swollen bum sack, book an appointment, for God's sake. Procedure is easy, it's quick.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the lanky hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part.
Putain, c'est un concours de baffe, c'est du génie.
Still going on.
Striker go first.
Striker, of course, first to start, as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin.
The robe.
Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time.
Oh, putain,
on
je
to Mr. Harris
m'attends.
now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shots number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad, if you ask me.
Was there contact? Don't know why you couldn't. To Harris.
Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Football. Move back.
I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends.
Of ends.
Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
Mais...
Striker giving it large.
Second round, and double. Harris.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streaker on the pitch. I apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow because it's quite an eyesore. And women's body, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive.
C'est bon, on a évité les tétés. On a évité les nibards.
No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that offensive thumb screw? We haven't seen that at the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastery in display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, we've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves. 4 rounds and 7 subjects.
Je comprends rien, je comprends rien à ce qui se passe. C'est du génie, putain.
Sponsored by Remington Smith.
On my whistle, on my whistle.
Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We're going to
Non, il y a encore quelqu'un tendu.
We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at
Non,
it.
non, 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 non.
Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket's been knocked over. I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television.
C'est bon, c'est bon, ça.
And out of there.
C'est bon, c'est bon. Je crois qu'on l'a pas vu. On l'a pas vu à l'écran.
Final poses. Ballboy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the
Je la vois
floor,
même pas la balle, c'est incroyable.
Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps. And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive
C'est un camoulox.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess.
Non, 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 il y a encore quelqu'un de
What are we doing about this?
Ils sont deux, ils sont deux.
I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see.
Ok, ok, on reste sur elle, on reste sur elle.
They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right,
No,
I'll
no.
try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match.
Ok, on l'a, ok.
What is going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters.
Fuck.
Oh, jog on!
This is the mime round.
An absolute bloody. Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round.
Ça se passe bien, ça se passe bien.
It's a Tuesday. The final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in there at this point. Really high-level play here from two absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Hold.
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she's spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on.
Illegal spit.
From striker. But she's in it to win it.
Harris's ball.
On it, like a car bonnet.
Il joue sans balle, oui, il n'y a pas de balle. Mais je fais quand même le plan. Hein. Je fais quand même le plan. C'est absurde.
As if it were a banana, which is an interesting
C'est
move.
absurde, je fais quand même le plan.
Potassium or what's going on today with Harris? And he's throwing it. And the banana was the ball. What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic. There we go, Jeremy. That is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual sports board championship is...
Everyone! Okay, the ref has decreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Oh, yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying.
Body as it slowly wastes away, or losing your grip on
C'est une pub que j'ai faite pour la Néco, ça.
It doesn't have to be that way. Now you.
Postman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm has caused the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit dangerous. Now I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Postman out.
If you're staying, you'll be listening, surrounded by those you love, in comfort.
Je fais quoi, bordel?
Isn't that what we all deserve at the end of a life? Our expert legal team will help you make all those difficult arrangements.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Faut pas que j'appuie dessus, je pense. Hein.
On your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat damp?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital.
C'est pire en pire, putain, je travaille pour une télé qui est toute pourrie.
You definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
So much dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera?
Oh, sorry, yes, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope. 3 days later, he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge.
Sounds.
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night.
Putain, je vais claquer, tu sais.
Or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So, even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with
je vais avoir 100%,
dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
You've just given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think I'm from my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
Yes. Sorry. My apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got a shot to get. Can I get a little bit of help here? Please.
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, I brought your face, fucker. That one was massive. Right, no.
Sorry, that the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Putain de merde!
Spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... with a rusty
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
For fuck's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
Si, je suis sûr. Avec espace.
And on that note, thank you so much for being here. Jeremy.
Avec espace, je clique pas dessus, je le fais directement avec mon espace.
That's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests.
Sinon, j'entendrais un truc qui fait si je censurais pas.
And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
So they just...
Mais je vais mourir.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I start the leak.
Note du segment E. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? J'étais dans le vert tout le temps. Je suis dead? Parce que je suis mort? Je crois que t'es mort à cause des chocs électriques. Ah merde! Ok, j'ai chopé des parts. Pour arrêt cardiaque. Ah putain, ok. Bon, je peux quand même continuer l'histoire, je suis pas obligé de tout refaire. Possible d'utiliser la molette de la souris pour effectuer et déplacer les vagues. Ah, d'accord. Le confinement. Non! Non, pas le retour. Je peux appuyer sur les boutons électriques, mais trop égale choc, arrêt cardiaque. Ok.
The floor manager. Are you okay? Alex, you need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen. Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it now. Look left, Alex, out the window. See? You're going to need a full charge to clear that many off. Hold down the big button until it's fully charged, then release it to zap the little fuckers.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde?
Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again.
C'est les poupées là, monsieur Kalinou?
Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Quickly, Alex, fry it. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right. We're about a minute out. Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot. And Alex, keep your ears open. You'll hear them climbing up the tower.
Okay, okay.
Don't let them build up.
Fuck.
But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on.
This has no credibility, Jenny.
On Channel 1 at 7 o'clock.
No professionalism.
What's wrong with this picture?
It's not a mess. Everything is where it should be. It's ramshackle and characterful, and I expect you to know the difference.
That's followed at 8 p.m. by
Of course Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Decided to take his chances on the wild streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Il doit exister en VR ce jeu du coup.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
She says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
5, 4, 3.
It's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe, our main stories tonight.
Snugglefucked? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehugs toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs we have so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
This frightening new development means that even those previously thought to be relatively safe, like the young and fit, must take care to watch their backs and keep their ears open for the soft steps of sinister feet.
Les Furby sont devenus vivants.
Going stir crazy, with no signs of Mrs. Snugglehug's batteries running out, and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
With dating options limited, many house sharers, in particular students, are finding solace in co-tenants they'd previously rejected as unfuckable, indulging in an activity that has become known as snuggle-tugging.
Transformation. Popular cemetery Johnny Hansleeves, who has recently been suffering with his health, sent us this photo today, presumably in a pathetic attempt to stay relevant at a time of global crisis.
Since receiving his test results, things in Johnny's life have taken a surprising turn. He's certainly using the lockdown to reinvent himself.
It seems that rumours that Johnny has been ill were just that, and that he has, in fact, developed superhuman powers. Renaming himself Captain Ham, he has pledged to fight crime, mainly in the agricultural sector.
The shape of things to come? In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
Time Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord here with another pointless message that no one will ever see. We've been down here so long now, and you never communicate. What's happening up here? Have you all fucked off into space? I'd like to fuck off into space. Ladies. Or just a space with ladies. It's harvest time again, like it is every third Wednesday, but harvest's not what it was. Still. Someone found a couple of unopened boxes in the rusty wreckage. Mum and Dad must have missed them when they first got down here all those years ago and totally effed up my life! Kids' toys, apparently. Mr. Snufflehugs or something? Helvetica's trying to get them switched on. Apparently there's still life in the batteries even after 30
Faut leur mettre juste des petits chocs quand ils sont pas, quand ils sont pas beaucoup.
Amazing.
It's hard to believe they've been down there so long.
But as everyone knows, time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why goldfish are so stupid.
That's right. As anyone will tell you, the deeper the bowl,
the thicker the goldfish.
There's no denying the logic of that.
Class war, a worrying turn today for the formerly rich as ever more punishing measures are announced, Alex.
With the country becoming ever more hostile to the previously wealthy, those who managed to skip the country must be very grateful to the people who help them right now.
This programme has received reports of rich relatives on the run actually being filled with helium and released into the stratosphere. If those rich bastards think they're above the rest of us, why not give them a hand in getting there, Jeremy?
And Advance speaks out. With the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world, Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening and that this should be taken as a response to how the people really feel.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Hey, this one ought to take you back a little bit. I mean, seriously, why have a lockdown without a lock-in, eh? Here we go. When you're feeling hopeless and you just can't work things out, I've got just the job.
Je crois que les sous-titres sont en PLS.
When there's too much water from a little tiny spout, I've got just the job.
Oh,
This is when your pipes are clogged and all your walls have stains. I pop around when your hubby's out and root among your drains. But don't you mind how long be gone when he comes back again. And that's just a job. I've got the perfect tool.
Delectable stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be catching up with brave roving reporter Patrick Bannon, while I check in with two friends of the programme who find themselves stranded at opposite ends of the country.
And then, in part 3, there's going to be a quiz. Presumably because there's nothing more important going on that you might like to report on if you were, say, a news programme.
And in a moment, we'll both be asking Sophia Remington how such a trusted brand can have made such a terrible manufacturing mistake.
With what it describes here as help from popular psychic scientist Delia Lywell.
Oh, I like her.
No, you don't. Why do you do that?
Well, that's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Dégage. Laisse-moi regarder ça. Oh putain.
First tonight, how did we get here? Where are we going? And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her ranch in Arlingsfield, Milkirky is the CEO of Remington's Fist, internationally respected business Bengali, Sophia Remington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I'm a huge fan of your work.
And from a crystal healing laboratory, what I assume is a garage in Upper Lowington, inexplicably renowned psychic scientist, Dr. Delia Lywell. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sorry, us?
Myself and the eminent professors.
Is that what you call the voices in your head?
I've always seemed to attract dead scientists. I don't really know why.
The money?
They express themselves to me through ethereal algebra and quadratic predictions. It's all very technical.
No, it isn't.
I concur. Miss Remington, the entire Snugglehugs range will surely go down as the biggest public relations disaster in history, won't it?
Well, of course, that's one world record we would never have sought to claim.
What can you say at a time like this?
There is only one thing that can be said. I'm sorry. We're sorry. From everyone here at Remington's Fist, but especially the dedicated inventors and world-beating engineers at Rimming Toys, we are deeply, deeply sorry.
Sorry.
Who could have predicted that letting a child's toy learn how to love could have such unforeseen consequences?
Mary Shelley?
We see you, Sophia Remington. You are preening by a metal vessel, and where you venture, you will see neither land nor sky.
Is that supposed to be the future?
Only the past is concrete. I remember being a child in my grandpa's workshop when he made the first dancing hangman toy. He put it by my bed, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd wind it up and let it go, and I'd watch that happy little
Dégagez, bordel!
wiggle and wave his tiny noose and dance before my eyes. Grandpa sold thousands of them, on the quiet, obviously, and he used the money he made to found Rimming Toys, which is now just one small part of the global supermassive megacore that is Rimington's Fist. Sadly, we lost Grandpappy along the way. He died in a fire at the preschool tobacco factory, another one of his pet projects. But we never lost his spirit of invention.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain what your grandfather's offensive toys have to do with the current predicament.
The spirit of invention, Mr. Donaldson. The passion to create, to problem solve. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you about a brand new product we're launching simultaneously around the world from midnight tonight.
Woo! We said science! Science! We hear its song on the breeze, its breath on the wind, its fart under the covers.
How does she do it?
Well, please, don't keep us in suspense any longer.
It won't be my feature she's making up next.
Remington's Fist is proud to present Snuggle Traps. Safety and security in these dangerous times. Each box of snuggle traps contains
Ils vont faire des pièges pour les petits
all
poupées.
guaranteed to stop Mrs. Snugglehugs in its tracks. That's enough for a small lawn or 4 window boxes. And you want to know the best thing? They're only $129.99 a box. Now that is affordable peace of mind.
We see you, Jeremy Donaldson.
Not now, honey, I'm mid-pitch. The best thing about snuggle traps is they're powered by next generation Flardinium batteries. So, however long the enemy lasts, these traps will outlast them.
We see you, Mr. Donaldson. You are screaming and yelling. Your friends are crying. They fear you. And then you're gone.
Oh my god, I just got chills. Did anyone else just get chills then?
I think I did.
I think it's more concerned. I think I'd be more concerned about these traps. Quickly, before we go to the break, these appear to be attractively repackaged landmines. Aren't they dangerous, say, to children?
Oh, hell yeah. These are not toys, but they're explosive fun.
Sophia Rimington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the situation
Ça se passe bien.
across the country tonight.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these bandages.
Was that all right?
Oh, yes, Doctor, that was exactly...
Push yourself to your absolute limit with Occupational Hazards, the exclusive new collection. Subscribe today and every week we'll send you a workplace accident you'll never forget. From the classic trip and fall to the unparalleled heights of gross negligence.
C'est passé quoi avec les petites poupées? Bah je crois qu'elles ont pris vie, hein. Elles ont pris vie, c'est le confinement.
Listen, I'll call you back at the next break and we can talk about how I get me job back. Cheers, Alex. See you, mate.
Your employer's complete lack of responsibility. Every issue comes complete with this companion magazine, containing the impotent good wishes of your colleagues and a non-specific corporate apology. For a limited time, get your hands on the electroshock collection at your nearest workstation now. Every week you'll receive a high-quality electric current of increasing voltage directly through your body until you lose consciousness. Don't miss this shocking offer. It really is the frying of a lifetime. Roll the dice with your future now, and we'll send you this card from HR.
Dégagez, putain!
Absolutely free. That's right, free. Occupational hazards, the only...
Yeah, ready. Okay, coming back. In 5, 4, 3... Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Roof. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces. Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman and author of Alan James's Kites, Alan James. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. It really is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our little heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm holding up okay. The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international policy convention, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I And as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. People are being quite rude about it. They don't seem to realise I've already spent it filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James's Reich, is now available in paperback.
Unbelievable.
What was that?
You're unbelievable.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be catastrophic. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive this.
There you go, scaremongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. Shh. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no, but...
Did you know 3,000 people die every year from regular toys? That's a lot of people. And this is no different. You're just as likely to be hunted down by a yo-yo or a tennis racket.
He makes an excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Don't listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute
Je veux les mêmes infos en France. Mais j'avoue.
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply isn't true. Corrupt media lies.
And Katie, how do you respond to Alan's claims that Mrs. Snugglehugs might be dangerous after all?
I suppose I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate your support. A lot of folks are saying this Mrs.
C'est qui en deux?
Snugglehugs situation will all blow
Putain, il se fait un gros sandwich.
but it won't.
Yes, right, exactly. We need decisive action from the government. We need huge financial support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
to repent. Exactly right, Katie. We brought it on ourselves with all our liberal indulgences like art, cake, and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our firstborns, or to push a beloved family pet.
Absolutely, Alan. If we can all successfully come together
Il est trop gros ton sandwich, il va pas rentrer dans ta bouche.
Ritual, hopefully we will appease the great ancient. Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under Advance, they've invested heavily into health.
Il s'est barré, je veux le faire passer à l'antenne.
Can actually bear the strain.
Is it lucky that the Llama Lords have unleashed a horde of man-made monsters on its own people to conceal the enemy within?
Will you just stop for 5 fucking seconds?
Mais vous habitez ensemble?
Fish people are amassing an army. Amassing an army to kidnap.
That's you. That's what you sound like.
But
Me.
I
Me.
the
Me.
the
Me.
I don't sound like that.
Yes, you do.
You do, Alan. You do sound like that.
And that's why no one wants to be your friend.
I've got loads of friends.
No, you haven't.
I don't think you do, Alan.
Yeah, stop lying, Alan.
I'm not lying. You are.
Oh, good one.
Bibou.
Well, I'm telling.
Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. Some real food for thought there from two of the territory's leading minds. Any moment now, I'll be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report of the status of the nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, hello, I'm here. I'm here live. Apologies for the quality of the broadcast today. Couldn't find any cameramen or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
Right, and can you tell us what it's like out there?
Yep, I can. It's as you can see behind me, the streets are currently completely deserted. But my question, Jeremy, is just how long? I mean, could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the fledgling career of this young comedy journalist before his full potential is even realised? Will he die underappreciated by management, and frankly, if you ask me, very, very much underpaid.
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick. What's that on your jacket there?
Oh, that's actually a sponge. What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view, Patrick, just how safe are our streets?
Not safe at all, Jeremy, not safe at all. I'd recommend people staying inside, following government advice, and not putting themselves at any risk at all. Unless, of course, like me, it's for groundbreaking journalism reasons.
And just where are you, Patrick?
I'm in the street, on the street.
C'est sûr qu'il est pas vraiment dans la rue.
I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually, Jeremy, there.
Which street? Which street are you on?
Oh, which street am I on? I'm just looking for a sign. There it is. I'm on Bannon Avenue.
C'est un fond vert, ouais.
Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yep, I'm on Bannon Avenue on the sign, it says there.
Like Patrick Bannon?
Oh yeah, that is like, that's strange, that's a weird sign. I don't know what's going on there.
Where are you really?
I'm on Bannon, Alright, fine, I'm not on Bannon Avenue, I'm at home, to be honest. Alright, fine, well I'm in my bathroom technically, but you know...
Oh putain, c'est encore plus punk qu'un fond vert.
It's terrible out there, I don't want to go outside, they're everywhere. I'm sorry for lying.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
Can you hear that sound? What the hell's that?
I can, yes. I'm no expert, Patrick, but it sounds unmistakably like a tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Oh, fuck, it does. Oh, fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh, bollocks, right.
Perhaps there's a small queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of lying little roving reporters.
You're lying, aren't you? Oh shit, fucking, listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, just to piss off you little fucking snuggle fucks, I'm too talented to die! Oh, what the fucking hell?
Arrête de jurer, je galère moi.
Oh god.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off. What do you see, Patrick?
Ils l'ont fait, putain.
Thank you, Patrick, for that report, showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be hoping to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this. You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered. Yes, to Bannon Avenue.
C'est quoi ce soleil qui vient d'apparaître? Putain, c'est absurde, hein. C'est vraiment n'importe quoi. C'est l'apocalypse, ouais. C'est l'apocalypse à cause des petits jouets. C'est du génie.
We need to come together. Every single one of us.
Attends, je fais une petite pause chat, j'arrive. La pause matou. Est-ce que les poupées sont là parce que tu as joué la pub au début? Non, je pense pas. Je pense pas que ça soit si si dingos que ça. Je pense que c'était prévu dans tous les cas que les monsieur Calinou allaient devenir zinzin. Mais on l'a quand même joué.
No, I'm not.
Merde!
I'm not going to.
Buying our products.
I'm not.
Eye of the beholder. Because you'll have to go out in public eventually.
Dégage!
National Nightly, well, National Nightly, well, we know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight we have something a bit different for you. Even though some people felt it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overruled those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win and who will National Nightly lose. Fuck off, Jen! So, how do we play? Well, joining me is a man who knows all about playing. It's Tommy Harris. Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny. It's good to see ya.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean
Putain, c'est
lockdown?
pas un métier facile, hein?
The enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
Ah, yeah. I think I heard about that, actually, yeah.
You're in bed, Tommy.
Yeah, you called during nap time, so...
Of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jeremy, you sausage. I'm going to ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else? Yours truly. And those people are going to get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Oh.
Thank you. This.
Is that... What is that?
It's my athletic support, Jeremy.
Oh.
But I've signed it, so...
Oh!
To win this once-in-a-lifetime prize, Jimmy.
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, I love you. Both of you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Oh, Angie, I love you. In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie.
What can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been. I'm a human woman, and my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get this shambles underway?
Absolutely, John. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock, please?
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock. So...
Well, why don't you start, and I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right, here we go. Time starts now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
The 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
Correct. The colour of my nipples. Dear, what is my star sign?
Il avait coupé le jus.
That's a trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
Unbelievable. That is correct. Stop the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you got every single question right. Which, of course, means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line at Jelly Bean?
Merde! We do indeed. We should have Sonia Artleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of course I am, Jamie, darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Oh, there you are, Tommy. Mwah.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
Is it that obvious? What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game. I am a theatrical agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffeecup, and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you managing without any work?
Due to a savvy clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Eh ben, Nurevac, à la prochaine.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy?
We got time.
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold. That's all right. Don't worry.
Hey, I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on some new shit.
Well, at least you're already aware.
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children, haven't we?
People still let you near their children, do they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil?
Absolutely dying to.
Right, so, what do kids love?
Timely child support payments from their absent fathers.
Shallow and overproduced musical numbers?
That's right. Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
I think so, yes.
Jeff's one of my best clients, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So, the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rates.
I see. Does he have a broker?
He does, yes. He's a porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I think you're onto something here.
Oh, the bear,
Yes. Right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear because all of the other bears don't think that
sinon on va se
it
faire
amounts to
chier.
much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear is a tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he?
No.
But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be
Ça va durer 7 minutes comme ça.
You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Jeff.
And what to do, Mr. Bear? Says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed gesture or something.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
Wow. You really have taken yourself to new depths. And what do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck shit, fuck.
What?
I said a more realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jamboree?
It's Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop. How does it end? We need to know how it ends.
Well, all the animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
And Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end... We end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging.
Là, c'est long cette fois-ci.
Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, do you know, I might be able to... Hang on, can we get Angie back?
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming.
Lights!
Or wanted. At all.
Right.
I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to... endure.
You turn this shitting thing... Well, there's all sorts of creatures down on Dangly Doodle Farm. With way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow. That's cause they don't know they'll soon be sliced up into food. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Mr. Tiny Mouse thought he'd own a massive house. Ended up in a bedsit where he can't control the louse. Mr. Horse thought he'd go into professional sports. Now he's an alcoholic and he's on his third divorce. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the place your life becomes an endless questionnaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to die. Lower your expectations. Maybe you could get a job in telecommunications. No matter how you try, you'll never reach the
4 minutes, ouais. 4 minutes. Courage les chatons.
Middle rank in trading operations. So lower your expectations. You'll never win an Oscar, so there's no congratulations. The future that is coming will not meet specifications, and no amount of visualizations will save you from your own deterioration. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's a tramp who thought he'd be a multi-millionaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where self-esteem goes to die. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the disappointment that is waiting everywhere. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your schemes go to die. That's where your dreams go to die. That's where dreams go to die.
Amen, Mr. Bear. Amen. And before we say goodnight, there's just time for tonight's parable. For it did come to pass that on the road there was a wise man and a foolish man and a weird man. And there did come upon them from the local village a truth seeker named Unlikely Brian. And he did come to them with alms and someone else's arms.
C'est quand même complètement barré, hein. Mais il y a un taf de zinzin derrière.
He said, whilst dancing the traditional jig of inquiry common in those lands at those times. How, grant thou, can the many weights and measures of life be balanced? And the wise man did say, there are no riches greater than family. And the foolish man did say he'd heard a good tip for the camel race and that it was a sure thing. And the weird man did say that 2 ears was just the right number, because there was no good place to put a third that wouldn't be aesthetically upsetting. Although he did see the use for a second anus. And Unlikely Brian did fall into wonder and befuddlement at their answers, although he was also wondering if either the foolish man or the weird man had any actual value in this sort of professional consultative environment. For what he did not know was that the profound man and the practical man were both on annual leave that week, and the foolish man and the weird man were all that the agency had available. But what Unlikely Brian did not reveal was that he was asking for his friend Alex, who had enraged their spouse over a passport, treated their son Charlie like he was still a little baby,
and was too miserly to even pay for their daughter's holiday. And thus did Alex's family become like our Lord, when he discovered a turd in his cradle and was forced to ask Nebuchadnezzar to leave. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. I'm Archangel Megan Wolf. Have a hateful night. Are we done? Oh my God. I thought I was going to piss myself halfway through that. Not even joking. Right, babe, I've got to go and get my bits done.
This is another chapter from Crazy Neil's Wit Wisdom, and I'm reaching out through the lens of this camera to say, buddy, if you're listening, build a better life for yourself. You want crazy? We got crazy! Crazy deals! People ask how I got started in business, and I gotta say,
Alex! Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake
Huh?
up!
Wake up, Alex! Alex! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Ah! J'ai une séquence E, la deuxième. Pourtant, ça me semblait bien. The fuck. Eh ben, c'était une belle... c'était une belle descente dans le grand n'importe quoi. On va s'arrêter pour aujourd'hui. Mais c'était une belle descente dans le grand n'importe quoi. C'est... Je crois que c'est un des jeux les plus bizarres auxquels j'ai joué de ma vie.